Allora, mi hanno detto di intrattenervi, ma non so ballare, non so cantare, però posso dirvi che fra due speech c'è l'aperitivo e secondo me questa è una cosa interessante. Può essere un pre-intrattenimento, no? Ci siamo quasi, aspettiamo che si siedano gli ultimi in arrivo. Pausa caffè finita, ora ci aspetta l'ultimo rush finale. E passiamo al prossimo speech, Why Your Page Speed Score is Lying to You. Karlijn Löwik, CEO, RAM Vision. Welcome on stage.
Thank you. Nice to be here, everyone. I'm here with a very controversial statement, or maybe not. Why your page speed score is lying to you and what to measure instead. I might have gone a bit into coffee memes because we're sponsoring the coffee today, and I figured, well, we might as well. Because have you ever had that moment in your life where you were like 100% page speed score? Yay, Core Web Vitals field. Boo. How did that happen and why? Let's figure that out today. So, ciao. Meet Magento Italy. I'm very happy to be here. My name is Karlijn Löwik. I'm the CEO of RAM Vision. Which you can see here, we are a real user monitoring solution, which means that we can measure real users' experiences on the web in your browser and show you where issues are. And I love being part of communities. I co-chair the W3C RAM group, which gets me to talk to people like Gilberto from Google and Microsoft people and really geek out about web performance. I'm also a big ambassador of promoting more women in tech, like the Lady Magento initiative, and I'm a board member of MageOS Netherlands, not to be confused with the general one. Yay, Dutchies. But today I'm here to talk about SAX, which stands for Site Speed User Experience. Because what your users experience is very important. And to make jokes about SAX is important as well. Why does speed matter? Well, let me introduce my kid.
Waarom duurt zo lang?
Ja, weet ik ook niet. Moet je heel lang wachten?
Ja.
Oh nee.
Waarom duurt zo lang?
So that's my kid. She's also the kid of Erwin Hofman there, who is also my co-founder and also a web performance nerd. So the annoyance in things taking very long is strong in this kid, but I think it's strong in everyone. No one likes to wait for a page that takes forever to load. That's just annoying. And there's proof on that. There's proof that good SAX sells. Why? Well, because it's annoying. And actually, Gilberto had a moment to talk about this as well. But if you improve site speed user experience, it is good for everything, but most of all, your conversions and your money. However, bad SAX sucks. I told you I can make many jokes about this. And every 1 second delay costs about 7% in conversions. That's a lot. And today, we will discover the ultimate web performance setup, because we already acknowledged it's important, but how do you test it? How do you measure it? How do you improve it for your users? And hey, why might there not be lighthouse scores involved? So, to quickly go back to this, and this was already explained previously, is that to pass Core Web Vitals, there are three success criteria. There's loading speed, which we call LCP. There's visual stability, which we call cumulative layout shift, or CLS. And there's interactivity, so IMP, interaction to next paint. All these three moments are very important to you, user, and it's important that you measure them. However, web performance in 2025 is incredibly confusing. So, I think many of us have it, right? Hello, my site is slow, please fix. And you're like, hey, I have a 99% page speed score. Yeah, okay, so what about mobile? That's probably worse. It's almost always worse. Okay, but oh no, it's actually Core Web Vitals. Oh, and you didn't pass it. Because there are so many moments where you can measure performance in. We have Lighthouse, we have PageSpeed Insights, we have Core Web Vitals, we have Google Search Console, we have G2 metrics, we have web page tests, and here I am with my ROM. What the hell? Make it make sense. And I'm sorry about that. I should say they all have value, but I get that it's incredibly confusing. So to already tell you a bit about why Lighthouse metrics are less important, always concentrate on field Core Web Vitals over Lighthouse metrics and scores. In particular, the performance score of Lighthouse is a broad measurement that is a lab test and often does not correlate with field Core Web Vitals. So, I mean, that should settle the discussion, right? We shouldn't look at Lighthouse scores. Yeah, all right. So the issue with that is it's so damn sexy. On socials, on our websites, on LinkedIn, 100% page speed score is the ultimate goal, right? Yeah, we've kind of been conditioned to think that. Still, this is just from the last couple of months. Look at it. This is Adobe. No offense to Adobe, but they really like that Lighthouse score. But here's another one as well. Look at the likes. Look how proud they are of it. But me? It don't impress me much. Why not? Well, for instance, because while it looks good, it cannot touch, quite literally. Because it's not the most reliable measurement to begin with, which is the reason why I wouldn't look at it. Sorry. Why not? Well, it's giving you an incomplete picture of the SACs, or the site speed user experience. Because reason one, it's being run on a really slow device, a Moto G4 somewhere in the States, or a really fast one, namely your own computer. It's also not able to interact. It loads and it stops, so you have no insights on what happens after. But a page has a lot of experiences after. You can do so many things, but you have no insights on it if you just rely on Lighthouse. Which is why it's stopping measurements once the page is loaded. It also measures all the Core Web Vitals and the TTFB differently. And even worse, as it cannot interact, it can't measure IMP, so interactivity, at all. It also has no idea what's happening with third parties. They might be impacting your user a lot in metrics. It has this thing called total blocking time. But it's not necessarily true that the thing that you see in your waterfall or in a Lighthouse test being a problem actually is harming your users. For instance, Facebook is very rarely the issue. But the most important one, it's a robot. It's not real. Your real users are. The second reason, though, is actually equally important, because when a measurement becomes a target, it stops becoming a good measurement. And I think this actually is equally annoying in Lighthouse, because then this happens. This actually happens a lot. We start to optimize specifically to pass that 100% page speed score. And we start to do really weird things, like lazy loading all JS or only on interaction. That looks good to Lighthouse. But your users, when they click something, suddenly everything needs to load, and you are actually harming your real user's experience. And I don't know about you guys, but when I visit a website, I don't look at the Lighthouse score, or whether it's 100% or 80% or 3%. I know what I feel, and that's much more important. But there's another thing here, is that having made this measurement so important, we are wasting so much developer time, valuable time, to put that 100% page speed score there. But it's not that important. We should be focusing on core web vitals and actually improving our real users' experience. And thank God, or Google, we have other solutions available to us that are better. So to set the scene, here we have Lighthouse, which is a lab data, so it's a synthetic test. And look, hey, that's RunVision, 100% page speed score, yay us. And here is the core web vitals, which is data from the field. So real users' data of your own customers. Other question though. Hey, so if I pass core web vitals, even if I have a 70% page speed score, am I done? Well, it depends. If you just want to do it for that Google ranking boost, which I know many of you find really important, then yes. If every page on your site passes core web vitals, there is nothing to improve for the Google ranking signal. Although, and I think many of this have probably had this, try to tell some people in SEO and marketing that when they see a bad performance score. I've had many conversations about that one. But for real user experience and your conversions, no. A real user monitoring solution will show you what your users and templates could still use improvements, like checkout of your specific templates or other browsers like Firefox, Safari, Opera, Edge. All these things are not measured in core web vitals dataset. But they are important. Core web vitals still miss a lot of data. Why? Well, there are multiple reasons. First of all, it's based on the 75th percentile of only logged-in Chrome users. So like I just said, many of your users are actually not part of this data set. Doesn't mean they won't buy from your site, doesn't mean that they won't actually have experiences that are important. And even if you meet the targets of core web vitals, at least 25% of your users still have a worse experience than the number shown. But how bad is that experience? And where is that experience? And if it's really bad, don't you want those users to convert as well? Or basically, as this meme says, I'll stay away from the meme. This happens a lot. It's actually really, really, really fast for the first 5th percentile. Kinda, sort of, almost okay for the core web vitals. And then those last 10% are really, really, really struggling. If I can show you it in real data, this is just on one template on the last 28 days. And what you see here is that everyone has a different experience, and that makes perfect sense. Because where are we right now? Where we're in Rome, and it's very beautiful. It also has really, really bad internet here at this moment. I mean, Xenia is like, no, that's the thing. It's really bad. So right now, in the internet conditions, we are basically at the 95th until 99th percentile. It's really, really bad. But there will be people that actually have a really good experience right now in networking conditioning, or in expensive or slower phones. All of these things. But also, if you've visited the site before, you have caching. Yay, if you can benefit from speculation rules or back-forward cache, it gets instant. All these things get measured and can get you insights if you use a RUM. And that's actually literally what we can showcase you right here. You see here that no user has the same experience. You can run very expensive ads by adding accidentally a GTM parameter that is going to cause you issues. For instance, if you use Google Search Console, Google Shopping, I should say, then you might have seen this one get added. This is really bad news if you don't add it to your caching rules. Why? Because it slows everything down, because your cache couldn't help you. and you see it. I mean, 3,000 milliseconds versus 762 milliseconds. That's a huge difference just for the users. But if you run a campaign, or hey, Black Friday is coming up, are you running new campaigns? Did you think about adding that to your caching strategy? Because it's going to be a very expensive Black Friday if you don't. But also, your page view type. Is it a unique visitor? Is it a successive visitor? Is it a returning visitor? It has a huge impact on their experience. But actually, that unique page visitor, that's the one you're going to want to convince to buy from you. That has zero recognition of your brand, of your site. You might have bought it through an ad. And those have the worst experience. So those are the ones that tend to get stuck in the 90th percentile. So it would be nice to have eyes on that. But also the navigation type, like back forward or back forward cache. Did it actually work for you? We could show you that, so you don't have to test it. And this is an interesting one as well. The final I'm going to mention is that interactivity is very dependent on what kind of phone you have. So who of you have an iPhone? Congratulations, iPhones actually do provide better interactivity than a Samsung phone. But do you benefit from that in Core Web Vitals? No, because it did not get measured. But we can measure it. And you see here is that your expensive phone, it could also be an expensive Samsung or a Google phone, actually has a much better experience than if you have a mid-range phone. But what kind of phone do your real users have? It depends. It depends on your audience. But I don't think many of you actually know. Well, we could show you that. Other downside to Core Web Vitals is that it's an aggregated data set that is collected over the last 28 days. And it's really awesome that Google is giving us this data for free, but your business runs in real time. 28 days is too late. Because then this happens. This happens very often. At least we use a lot of, we have a lot of e-commerce sites with marketing departments and developers. And then you get this, where you're looking at Core Web Vitals with that 28 days delay, and suddenly there's a new heat map, and your IMP got screwed. And also, there's a new top banner for the sale that's causing annoying layout shifts. And by the way, they also included a new A/B test, which was fun of them, only it's causing a white screen for 5 seconds. It would have been nice to know about that 30 days in advance, and not after 30 days, because imagine how much money that cost. So if we want to improve web performance, who do we need? Well, everyone. It's not a single solution fix. It's not like if you start to use RUM Vision, all your problems will be solved. It's that we are all in this together. So who do we need? Well, we need developers who understand web performance. We need data, both RUM data and synthetic data. So like RUM Vision and a performance dev panel. We need an optimized front end, like Huva. We need good hosting, especially for Magento, because your time to first byte is really bad. But with good hosting, it could be good. We need a well-optimized backend. If we have, we can do so many things wrong in the backend, yet need eyes on that. We need good caching, with good caching rules. We need to be smart, because caching is going to save us so much money. We need SEO and marketing to be aware of third-party performance costs, or at least have a conversation when they add something and it's really harmful, whether we want to keep it or whether we want to benchmark it, because we have that kind of data, against a better cookie solution or a better heat map. because otherwise we get this. This happens very often. Your team adds everything. And if you add 1 or 2 things, it's probably fine. But if you're going to add a heat map, and you get a cache mish that we already saw, and also an add import to your style sheet, client-side rendering, so all of it on the browser, not on the server, but on the browser of your real user with a very slow phone. And we add even more JavaScript on top of that. And we have a cookie consent manager, and the back-forward cache was also missed. And all of that together, well, it's a latte. So, but here's a good thing. You don't have to fix everything. You just have to fix what is hurting your real users. You can have a huge amount of data and not know where to begin. But by having data that hurts your users the most, you know where to optimize. You know where to spend that developer time that is worthwhile. You get a trend line that says, oh my God, I fixed it by 80%. That is amazing. So only impact your users the most, and that impacts the most. Like checkout, for instance, it would be nice to optimize that. And a tool like RunVision can help you get that data and just save you a lot of guesswork and wasted effort, which is nice for us because, well, we even got included on Google I/O for that. So, to wrap it up, what is the ultimate web performance setup? I say start with finding the biggest problem for your users. With a RUM, like RunVision, there are more. Reproduce that issue with DevTools or web page test, because most of us are developers, we like to reproduce issues. Fix it in your code. And actually, here's absolutely a valuable thing with Lighthouse. Run diagnostics through your CI/CD. That's good. Validate that fix in RunVision with real user monitoring data after 1 day. And in every deploy, make sure that there are no regressions, which is just as important as optimization. Make sure it doesn't get worse. And sleep easily knowing you'll get an alert when things get really, really bad. And also for lab data, try using the new performance panel in DevTools. It runs through Chrome. It's really much more powerful than Lighthouse. So final final question that we are also thinking ourselves, okay, but if I can't show off my 100% page speed score more, what do I do? Which is fair for marketing. Well, ultimate flex in my book is this. It's a 99% score on all important pages on the 90th percentile. That is really, really cool, and that's an amazing result. And we get that by working together and being smart. And this, by the way, is a Magento shop. And it's one of the fastest in our data set. So don't think you can't accomplish it with Magento. And if you want to know more about it, then I'll move away from the QR code. Scan it, it's really valuable, or just ask me about it. And if you're okay with waiting 28 days, this is fun as well, because it allows you to check your own data against your competitors. So our goal is to provide all website owners with the insight needed to eliminate page speed as a conversion killer for 99% of your visitors. And I think we all want this goal as well. So let's run away together. Good web performance for all your visitors is really important, and we'd love to help you out. This is very much my commercial pitch, by the way, people. But if we ever can help you with it, then just, usually I say, scan that QR code, only I forgot to update the link. So shame on me, but it'll be there tomorrow when I get good internet again. Grazie mille. So, any questions?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Karlijn. Is any question from the audience? Anyone Qualche domanda?
Oh, this is a scary one.
No, it's just Google.
Don't worry, don't worry. Oh, okay, don't worry. You shared like the comparison between lighthouse and cracks. I was wondering whether you have like some suggestions. To improve lighthouse. You highlighted how lighthouse is limited. Do you have some suggestions about how to make it better, or not only from the Chrome side, but from the developers using lighthouse? Can they get something out of it that is good?
Absolutely. I mean, it's gonna get you loads of insights on, for instance, what could be harming your user's experience. It also runs a lot of checks on deprecated JavaScript, for instance. It can check whether your JavaScript files have gone way bigger. And sometimes it's absolutely legit in giving you the advice to get less JavaScript or have smaller images. But the downside is it's not always that advice is going to improve your user's experience. So there's absolutely value in Lighthouse. Don't let Barry hear that I only was unkind about it. Barry Pollard is the dev reel of Chrome, and he doesn't like me bashing Lighthouse. So it absolutely has value. And also, there's of course the case is that at one point you don't have Core Web Vitals data. And if you don't also have no RUM, then at least it's something. It's a great beginning point in your performance journey. But I think many of you here today are actually further along. You already have an e-commerce, you have a web shop. I'd say get better insights than just Lighthouse.
Altre domande? Una in fondo.
Hi.
Hi.
In the panel before, you have shown that you group the EMP by the memory capacity of the device.
Yeah.
Why did you do that when the EMP should be measured on the processor, on the CPU of the device?
Sorry, what was the question?
The EMP,
Yeah.
interactive point,
Yeah.
should be measured on the CPU of the device. Why did you measure it in the capacity of the random access memory, the RAM?
We use something called the Web Vitals library, and that shows a lot of data. Also, the device memory of your user. So, in a completely anonymized way, we get that data. So your phone actually sends it. We pick it up through the browser, and it sends it to us. Does that answer the question, or wasn't that your question?
Partially, okay.
Okay. Yeah, you got it. I had to struggle. Okay. No, give it to Chiwetel. I'm fine with that.
The reason why they split by memory is because memory is an indication about how old the device is.
Oh,
so
sorry.
It's lower. It's not about memory, but because it's a proxy signal to identify that it's an old device. That's why IMP is worse. It's not about memory itself. It's only a signal to identify low-end devices.
Okay, sorry, I didn't understand that one. Okay, more questions? Well, if you have any, just feel free to speak to me later, and I'd be happy to answer your questions.
Thank you so much, Karlijn.
Yes.